I'm Leslie.
And I'm Shelly.
And we're
Sisters in Ebert.
First of all, we'd like to thank everybody who hung in with us on our first inaugural video.
That was a doozy.
It was a little lengthy. So we apologize for that. Or if you liked it, let us know. If you hated it, that being that length,
don't let us know. We're aware.
Or if you do like them longer, let us know, because then we'll know.
That's true.
We'll know to flesh it out a little bit. Sometimes people do like longer ones that they can just put on in the background and
go
about their business. Yeah. Yes. So, if you haven't guessed, today's movie is very near and dear to our heart. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is one of our favorite films growing up.
Yeah. It should be known this is not a Summers of movie. This was long before then.
A beloved childhood classic. Like from the time, I can't remember a time without Pee-wee.
Yeah. We were big Pee-wee's Playhouse fans. Yeah. So we watched the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Pee-wee.
We love Pee-wee. I still do, and I think I put the jinx on him because I definitely just bought new Pee-wee stuff before, like a month before he passed. So I was
Reuben.
I know, I'm so sorry, Paul. But rest in peace. Yeah, we love Pee-wee. So, all right. So this is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
We open up at the Tour de France,
which, again, as a child, you don't know what that is.
No, I didn't get that.
But they're riding bikes and they're racing.
And I was kind of bored of that part, I remember, because I didn't really care about the bike I cared about, but not the race. So, and I said I always remember that the girl who put his medal on him.
Yes,
I always thought she looked goofy when I was a kid, and I don't think she's that pretty as an adult.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I liked her shimmery outfit.
Yeah,
but
I think
it might just be the '80s makeup throwing me off.
I didn't even notice. I didn't take note of this while rewatching.
Okay. Well, it stuck out to me as a child, and I remember it.
It should be known, we had seen this many times.
Yeah.
I rewatched it recently because it had been several years
same.
since I watched it, but I watched it with my children this
time.
time.
Did they like it?
They did. So it was. I did a little bit of a dad You'll like this part.
I did that. My son.
Look at this.
My son
look at that outfit.
Yeah. My 5-year-old watched it with me too, and he was very excited about it. He zoned out for some of it. He went about his business to play on some of it, but some I'd be like, "Hey, check this part out." I did the same thing. Yeah, you're gonna like this part.
But that whole dream sequence with the crown, it was very glittery, and I remember that as a kid.
I wanted it.
I enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
Of it.
But yeah.
But then we find out he's just dreaming.
He wakes up.
He did win the Tour de France on his beautiful red bicycle.
No, you wake up in his house. I said there's awesome gags and I love that it's physical props and no CGI. So it's all physical sets. And this was a Tim Burton movie.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But this is like a little kid's dream house.
Oh, yeah.
It's full of toys. Yeah. And he gets up and starts playing. He's wearing the bunny slippers. And,
I know.
And going to eat the carrot. To just have this setup in your house.
And he's got Abe Lincoln flipping pancakes, and everything's Dad used to show it to us because he was like, this is the cool, can you imagine having a house like that?
Yeah.
Where your breakfast cooks for you and everything like that.
Yeah. And this was the original, STEM is the big thing in schools right
now. That's right.
And this was the original, those Rube Goldberg machines.
Yes.
To watch it. And
yes.
So Pee-wee was ahead of his time.
He really was.
Educating the children.
In America, yeah.
Yes.
And my husband is not a Pee-wee fan. That's where we disagree.
Mine isn't either.
What did we... How?
Divorce.
No. But I said I don't think he was as familiar with the movie. He was more familiar with Playhouse, and they're two very different animals. Paul Rubens' humor calms out in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes, it is. It's...
this is geared towards adults. This isn't geared towards children.
It's like a kid's movie, a kid-approved movie, but for adults.
Right.
Yes.
And so he did, I remember we started watching some of this on Thanksgiving, and he was watching along, with me and my son, and he did like some of it. And my husband's a big A-Team fan, so he was very excited because I said, Dave, look, he's got Mr. T cereal. And he's like, oh, that, I think, won his heart a little bit.
I love this whole thing because he makes this huge elaborate breakfast with his machine and eats 2 bites of Mr. T cereal and walks out the door.
Yep, that's it. Pancakes, eggs, bacon, the whole shebang. And he's eating 2 bites of Mr. T cereal and then walks out the door. So. And again, your daily disclaimer, please excuse the dog barking in the background.
Yes.
It's probably going to show up on film.
I've tuned it out at this point.
I told you would. I mean, it goes by so much you wouldn't even notice. So our next scene is outside the house. He has this big elaborate security system for the bike.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really neat.
Oh, it was so
that
cool.
you can, like he's looking over. It's like you're looking over Pee Wee's shoulder when he's typing in his code, and he like looks over his shoulder, like like, and the camera pans away.
And they do it in the playhouse. Like
that's how he does it in the playhouse too. Yeah. So Francis is outside. Well, we are introduced to the character of Francis, and
I hated him as a child.
I
would look at him and just get annoyed, and I still kind of do. I felt it as I watched him walking up. I was thinking, there he is.
Do you feel like Francis could be a Krill though, looking at him and his physical features?
A Krill. That's our maiden name.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So we didn't say that yet. So a Krill, yes, he would fit well in our family. Our genetics.
I feel like we look. That's when I was a kid. I used to feel like I knew I was like Francis. Like, I mean, I'm not like attitude wise like Francis, but
he was rich.
Yeah, that's rich. But yeah, like I used to feel like Francis could fit in.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that
genetically. Yeah. So that was my only note for Francis. But yeah, like he's.
And like, his whole exchange with Pee Wee is
gold. Like,
oh my gosh, I'm listening to reason.
I don't make monkeys, I just train them. Yeah.
I wish the phrase "make me" was still a thing like it was in the 90s, because I would be saying, I don't make monkeys, I just train them all the time. I would have it in my normal conversation.
Bring it back.
I don't think it's going to catch on.
I think, shall?
Make me.
These Gen Zs need something.
I mean, the clothing's coming back, so we can bring the phrase.
Everything is cyclical. Time is a circle. So, yeah, and I just love it. Oh, Pee Wee, listen to reason. Yeah. Our next scene is at the magic shop. It's like an outdoor little mall, LA type mall. And my note about the house is there's been a couple of YouTube content creators who have done like the filming of the scenes where the movie was filmed and everything like that. The house is no longer red.
Aww.
But you can still definitely tell it's the house. Obviously, there's no tchotchkes out
front. They're lawn ornaments.
No. But it's still great. And I guess it's been in a couple other movies too, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So again, we're outside the magic shop, and I put scared me because the clown mannequin. Okay, something I noticed. I believe this movie was the dawn of several things for me. I think saw this. I must have been like 3 or 4,
little.
like when we watched. Yeah, maybe even younger.
Do you know what year it came out? I think it was before I was born.
It came out.
88?
No, that was the second one. I think this was 85.
Oh!
Yeah, it came out before I was born too. I think this predates Playhouse.
I think so too.
But yeah, the clown. I used to think it was the other way around, but I think this predates Playhouse. But the clown, I remember the clown mannequin out front scared.
Why?
Clown mannequin scared me, and I think this movie is where what stems my fear of clowns and mannequins.
Yeah.
But I'm like a weird hybrid with that. I enjoy mannequins and animatronics and things, but I like them because they scare me. They freak me out. A wax museum, I love it all day long.
A good wax museum.
Scares me to death, but I love it.
But yeah, it's true. Like you have this really like threatening part of it. He loses his bike at this clown.
And that's the clown stuck in my... Well, it's so visually... Like, it sticks in your brain, too.
Yeah, the trauma that we've associated with this clown.
Yeah.
Why he chose to tie it to the clown instead of the metal bike rack.
Or something, like a lamppost or something that doesn't move. Like, it's a clown mannequin. Like, obviously...
Just lift it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what they did, because the chain is destroyed. But.
Yeah. And I remember always thinking that the clown stole his bike.
Oh yeah, I thought that for a while too.
Yeah.
I was like, the clown.
Because like at the end, like when he comes out and notices, like it's just like it's looming, you know.
As I was rewatching, I couldn't remember how he got the bike back. Like it was kind of like I was trying to like follow, like okay, I see it there and I see where we're going, but I couldn't get to the ending. I couldn't remember, so it was kind of funny to watch it again.
Yeah. So yeah, that and then as he's in the magic shop, I remember that was freaky to me too because it's so dark in there. There's just a ton of like props. Like like the big head.
The big head he brings
you know, like it scared me.
I remember thinking like my kids are gonna be scared watching like
really?
this part, like, and they were kind of like but they were giggling.
But again, this is kind of the stuff that I like because it scares me. Like so, I think this whole movie is kind of where that came from. Now that I'm rewatching it as an adult. So again, he comes out, realizes his bike is gone. Our next scene is at Francis's house.
Yes,
and it's just huge. And I didn't get.
He goes to the police first, doesn't he? And he,
but
he realizes that Francis was probably the one that stole his bike.
Yeah, because all the police had to do was retrace his steps.
Yeah, so he was like, just this morning, someone was trying to get it.
Yeah, that's true.
So then he goes and knocks on Francis's door.
And I remember as a kid, loved the pool bathtub.
Oh my gosh, I dreamed to take a bath.
I showed Cam that, and I was like, my son, and I was like, oh, like, buddy, can you imagine having a bath that big? Whoa.
It's a pool, yeah.
It's a swimming pool. That he was taking his bath. Francis is having his bath, you know?
In swimming trunks. Like he is just swimming around, playing with boats and stuff.
Yeah. I said I didn't. Pee-wee, like his Francis's dad, Mr. Buxton, gets involved, and you know, like it's just kind of like a tussle between kids, even though they're both grown men. And, you know, we don't have to get the authorities involved, do we, Mr. Buxton? Because Buxtons are not thieves. And, but at the end, like, Pee-wee, you know, says okay, but he ends up giving them some trick gum. But I remember not realizing that as a kid, and I just wanted the gum.
Well, and he bought it in the magic shop before
I should have known. Yeah. But, like, I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
And I just was, like, not getting the joke.
Yeah, because he's, like, spitting out.
Yeah, it was, like, chocolate. Like, I thought it was chocolate, but it was gunk, I guess. Yeah, and the other one was probably, like, spicy, because he's like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the France. And you see, my daughter made some notes. She scribbled on the paper. She scribbled on the paper.
She's a Pee-wee fan.
Yes, exactly. So my next note is Dottie in the bike shop. Poor Dottie.
Sweet Dottie. She loves Pee-wee, and he won't give her the time of day. She's the cutest little thing.
She's adorable.
Who would be in love with Pee-wee?
She's so pretty,
man full of toys and things.
I know.
His quirks.
And I put, did Pee-wee really not like her or not like the drive-in because he has a bike? Oh. She's always that occurred
she wants to go to the drive-in.
She's like, can I ask you to do something with me?
That's a good point. Maybe.
But he kind of buffs her off later too.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think he was just kind of a butt.
Yeah.
A jerk. Yeah. We cut to the basement at Pee-wee's house.
Yeah, he's assembled everyone, all of his friends, to help him get the bike back.
Amazing Larry, who they never explained, but he's just there. Because I thought he had I was thinking he was Chuck, or not Chuck. The Mario the Magician. I was thinking he was him. And he's not. They're separate. So I used to confuse Mario from the Magic Shop and Amazing Larry. And I just
he goes through this whole spiel for 3 hours. They've been there.
Much like our Blues
Brothers. Yes. So you all know what it's like to be stuck watching someone.
And you're just
rambling on and on.
Like a sweater that just keeps knitting and knitting and knitting. Which is a classic Pee-wee. I saw that in all caps in my notes. So he's pretty much trying to get his crack team of investigators, and nobody's interested. And he's got this whole group of like BMX kids there. He's
got cool friends.
Yeah, way cool friends for who he is. Like it's very surprising. So, in the next scene is we're in an alley in the rain, and this is where Pee-wee realizes he has to go out on his own because nobody's helping him out. And we end up at Madame Ruby's. Now, there is a Tim Burton cameo in this, and this is one of his only films that he's cameoed in. Yeah. He is in the gang before Pee-wee hisses.
Oh, yeah, it scares him off.
Yeah, and scares him away, like... Yeah, and that's enough to scare this whole tough gang with, like, knives away from Pee-wee in this dark alley in the rain. So. And Madame Ruby is the one who comes in. She's like, you know, for $10 I can tell you some, and you know, for $50 I can tell you everything. So Pee-wee is like $2, and
like she just starts telling him everything. I was confused by that.
Yeah, I was too. She flips. I didn't notice this as a kid, but she flips her magic crystal ball on with like a switch. It's like a switch. Yeah.
She has his wallet and is looking through
it. Yeah, she's looking through his wallet because she just takes the whole thing.
And he's got pictures of the bike.
Yeah.
I see a bike.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting that either. I thought she was telling the future.
Yeah, I did too. And then I didn't notice either, but she looks out the window and she sees Al and Moe's. And that's where she gets the bike's in the Alamo. Yeah.
And it says like something about a basement.
Yeah, in the basement. Yeah, so Pee-wee starts off on his epic quest to retrieve his bike.
In the basement of the Alamo in Texas.
Yeah. So
which I remember going to school then and like learning about the Alamo and thinking like, I know where this is. Like, I'm gonna know a thing or two about this.
Did you tell your teacher about the basement?
No,
okay.
I did not.
And then our next scene is Pee-wee hitchhiking.
He has a big fake thumb.
And he's trying, and it's cut out of Texas.
Yes, to show where he wants to go.
And this was Dottie, by the way. Total doll. Mm-hmm. So cute.
Mm-hmm. She's adorable.
Yeah, so she was, so he's hitchhiking. And he gets picked up by this, like, con who's, like, on the run from the law.
He's got handcuffs broken
on his wrist. And he's driving this real hot car, you know. Mm-hmm. And when Pee-wee notices the handcuffs finally, he asks him what he did. And he said he cut off one of the mattress labels that says, "Do not disturb."
Do not
remove this tag. Yeah. And he said, I always thought that was the dumbest law. He was, like, trying to, like, get out. I always thought that was the dumbest law.
There used to be like a thing like do not remove
under penalty of law.
But I think it's till you buy it.
I think so too, and that I read that somewhere recently, like in the past few years, and I think they're still on there. But again, it's till you buy it. You can.
But like, why?
I don't. Maybe it's like a sanitary thing. Like I don't know though. I don't think the government's really caring about if we're sleeping on clean mattresses.
I gotta Google this now.
Yeah, we gotta go down that rabbit hole.
If you know, put it in the comments because we need to learn a thing or two about mattress law.
Yes, mattress law. There's bird law and there's mattress law. Okay. So I never understood Pee-wee dressing up before, but then I realized they're at like a blockade to try like catch this probably escaped convict, and Pee-wee's dressed up and like I don't know,
dresses like a woman. But
and where do they get these outfits from?
And like the guy's a fake beard on now, like they disguised him and like he buttoned up his jacket.
And I always thought Pee-wee looked like Mom. I put on there.
Oh, Mom.
Well, it was when her hair was no. It was remember her 80s hair with the bangs.
It was fluffy.
No, but not her nice 80s hair. That one picture where it's like
I think I know.
Yeah, you know which one I mean.
But I don't think Pee-wee.
No. But like I remember Mom had like a lot of like longer coats.
That's true. And Pee-wee has his like it's like a house coat.
It's like a house coat, but it's like a coat. Yeah. You know? And I was like, oh, that reminds me of Mom. And then like like her hair just pulled back with like some bangs. Like it reminded me of Mom. Like that's So it wasn't like Pee-wee himself.
Yes.
It was just certain aspects.
Yes. But I love that like the cop is like, can you step out of the vehicle for a minute? And he's like, is there a problem, officer? I just want to see that cute little outfit you got on.
Oh.
And he's modeling. And the convicts there are like, let's
get the heck. And I put a note, no seatbelts too.
Oh yeah.
It was an old car. But it was an old car. But I was like, even today, I don't know that would, I don't know if cars are still exempt from not having seatbelts.
No, I don't think they are.
Like I think even if you have an old car, if you're driving it, you have to.
I don't know.
I don't know. Another thing we need to.
Another thing we need to learn. But then they drive off, and like the convict is like ripping. Mickey is his name.
Yeah, Mickey.
Mickey's ripping off the facial hair on Bunny. He's like, oh, we did it. He looks over. Pee-wee's just there in the woman's outfit.
I put bopping along, still dressed up.
It's just so funny.
Yeah,
just subtle little
it's
things.
And it's innocent and nice.
Yes, like that's the thing. Like you don't get good innocent adult movies that are kid friendly anymore.
Right,
like it's either for adults or for kids. There's nothing in between.
Every once in a while you'll get a Disney joke and something like that.
But it's just not the same.
No, it's not. So Pee-wee's asking him about what prison's like. And he's like, it's not so bad. You lift weights, write appeals, lift weights. And I never, I guess, paid attention to this scene when I was a kid, but like the car just like goes off a cliff when Pee-wee's like driving.
Because there's
Mickey's
curves,
sleeping.
Mickey's sleeping. Pee-wee's driving. There's tons of curves, and he drives right off the road.
But he floats like off the cliff.
Yeah,
like it's not.
It's the It's
the theatrical.
Top. It's the top for the convertible that acts as a parachute.
That's what I said. The canvas car top comes over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it floats down nicely.
Like a parachute. Exactly.
Yeah, so he's able to drive the car off then.
Yes. But. Yeah. Yes. Because it lands perfectly. No crashing, nothing.
But so he strands Pee-wee on the side of the road.
But when Pee-wee was talking to Dottie, he told her that she shouldn't be involved with him because he's a loner, a rebel. And then Mickey says to him, Pee-wee, you shouldn't get mixed up with anybody like me. I'm a loner. I'm a rebel. And Pee-wee's just like, deja vu. And I forgot that used to be a thing, too, that people would say that. Yeah, but I showed my son this part, too. It was like the animals and with the headlight glasses.
That he got at the magic shop.
At the magic shop, because he bought a bunch of stuff at the magic shop. Like, this guy just brought out the whole kit and caboodle for him to pick through. And he bought headlight glasses. And at one point, so Pee-wee's just, left alone in the dark, and he can't see. And there was, like, desolate desert. Like, there's no lights, there's no road, there's no nothing. And you just turn it on, there's like all these animals.
It was funny.
But it's great. Like, again, like, and animals that wouldn't even be there. Like lions.
Wild, yeah, like the jungle animals.
Yeah, jungle animals. Sorry. So our next scene, Pee-wee gets picked up by Large Marge.
Oh.
I love a Large Marge.
This scene terrified me as a kid.
That's one of like the best, like,
so scary.
The best special effects. Like, that's classic Tim Burton,
Yeah, that's true.
So, and the anniversary actually just occurred. We were filming this in January, and it was January 11th, 1974. And he said that night was 10 years to the day. So that means they filmed, like, that was supposed to be January 11th, 1984.
Okay.
And it's been 50 years now. This year was the 50th year, 2024. Yeah. So, I just put great animation, because Large Marge is, talking about the worst wreck I ever seen. And again, they pull up to the Wheel Inn Diner. So she tells Pee-wee this story about, how this, this driver is just mangled in this awful car accident. And the Wheel Inn Diner is no more. If the real one. Yeah, the real one. The dinosaurs are still there, but the Wheel Inn Diner where they were at is no more. They tore it down a few years ago. But when they get in there, he, before he exits the cab of the truck, she tells him, like, tell him Large Marge sent you. So he's walking in, and he just gets up to the Large Marge sent me.
He walks in and announces it. And they all stop.
Like, turns around. Everybody turns around. So they go about, it was the worst wreck I ever seen.
Yeah,
like, everybody says the exact same way. Yeah.
And tells the tale exactly as Large Marge.
And he's like, that means that I was riding with, and everybody just goes, her ghost. And just goes back to what they're doing. Like,
and then they show people eating in the diner then, and everybody's staring at him, and they look away when he looks at them. Yeah,
it's great. And then he realizes that he can't pay for the food. He has his wallet, but Madame Ruby stole his wallet.
Yes.
He never got it back after that. So that's why my wallet's missing.
Simone, the waitress, has been nice to him to this point, and then
I remember as a kid I used to think Large Marge took the wallet, or Mickey took the wallet, but it was definitely Madame Ruby.
Because we believed her ruse.
Yeah, he did not start out on this trek with a wallet. Simone I put, because she was very kind, and she let him wash off dishes, and I think you washed off that tuna melt and fries. Your milkshake, yeah.
My daughter said, does he work there now? And I said, no, he didn't have any money to pay. Like, this isn't a thing now. No. You can't wash the dishes if you can't pay now. Now you get arrested.
Yeah. Because they have a dishwasher now, and it's probably automated.
Yes.
I remember as a kid liking her waitress outfit.
Yes, it was very cute.
I don't know why. It was just a regular polyester dress, but it
was the uniform. Like, it was the same thing with like the nurses, like the old nurses uniform. Yeah, the classic look.
Yeah. I used to want to play waitress and wear an outfit like that. So she and Pee Wee befriend each other, and she asks him to come watch the sunrise with her because I guess it's almost morning. And so they go up to the mouth of the dinosaur and they're watching the sunrise. But she's talking about this boyfriend she has who's like Andy. But he said she wants to go to Paris, but and he's like everyone. Pee Wee says everyone I know has a big butt. Come on, Simone, let's talk about your big butt. So and that's what Andy hears outside.
So that goes over your head as a kid.
Yeah,
because you're absolutely not getting that.
Yeah. So what did I put dinosaur post-mortem, but I don't know what that is.
Is that on the sign?
No.
He pulls the bone off.
Maybe that was what I meant.
Because Andy's waiting for them when they come out of the dinosaur to chase after Pee Wee for going after his gal, Simone.
Yeah. But I don't know what I meant by that. I'll have to go back and look at it again.
But so they take off running.
Yeah.
And
I know what I meant by that. That dinosaur is still there, and after after Paul Rubens passed away, they painted it with a gray suit for a while and the red bow tie in honor of Paul Rubens after his death. That's what I meant by that.
That was an odd way to write that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have wrote about it.
The brain of
I thought I was going to be able to understand my shorthand when I started this. I was wrong. And actually I was just told that kids today are not enjoying writing. It's because they don't see us write, and I hate writing and I never write, and this is the most I've written in forever. we type everything now. Yeah. So true. And I'm lefty too, so that might have something to do with it. But
try to get me to read this. That's not scared.
That's true. So, but that's what I wanted to say is that, when he passed, they did honor him for like a month or two with the dinosaur painted with the gray suit on. Yeah. So you could have gone to see it. I couldn't. It was way out wherever they filmed out west.
Far out west. We're on the East Coast.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to add before I move on to the next scene? Okay.
Keep going.
I didn't know if I interrupted you because you're talking
fine.
about Andy.
Andy.
Because that's how Simone talks. So we're at Pee Wee hops on a train to escape Andy.
He dives onto the train. I was trying to remember how they got out of there.
Yeah.
But so he's on the train. Yeah. And there's a hobo on the train.
Well, first he has his dream about the dinosaur eating his bike.
Yes. It's like another scary part to me. Well,
my son liked that part a lot. That was his favorite part of the movie. But I thought, there's a lot of dreaming in this movie, and that was one part that stands out. But again, more great claymation, physical effects, practical effects. Yeah. And again, the hobo who is there that he befriends. Did you recognize him?
He seemed familiar, but I couldn't place it.
Wedding singer at the bar.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
To be continued.
To be continued when we move on to the wedding singer. But so again, minor characters that we recognize from other roles.
Dad
First example.
Would pause this film. I'm sure he paused Wedding Singer. Was like, you see that guy right there? He was in Pee Wee on the train.
Probably. And they're singing "Coming Around the Mountain" and just all these campfire songs. And Pee Wee's like.
Slowly getting bored with it. Yeah. Until he finally just leaps off the train.
Yes. Yeah, he just jumps off to escape him. But he rolls over and there's a sign that says like Alamo.
San Antonio, Texas. Welcome
to the home of the Alamo.
Yeah. It's so convenient.
Yeah. So in the Alamo, I remember more mannequins that I enjoyed because they scared me.
And the tour guide is so sweet. She's like, these are my friends.
Tina. No, her name is Tina.
Her name is Tina.
It was Pedro and Inez. Inez is holding some corn, which she is very proud of.
I will tell you all 150 ways or whatever it is now and how to prepare that corn.
You can shuck it and boil it. And it was like the precursor to the Forrest Gump guy.
Yes. So it's just like the longest tour
ever.
And she tells Pee Wee that no questions
until the end of the tour.
He just wants to get to the basement.
Yeah.
Like,
so
when are we
he's
going to
asking about that in like the first sentence, and she's like, all questions held until the end.
And you just see amongst all the tourists.
And our mother recently took a trip to Texas at San Antonio, went to the Alamo, and I asked her if Pedro and Inez were there still, and she didn't.
She get the reference.
No, she didn't get the reference. Yeah.
She did look for Pee Wee merchandise.
She did.
None to be found.
There was none, but I'm not the only person who asked about Pee Wee at the Alamo. There's quite a lot of people, and they even the Alamo even put out on their social media when he passed away. Like,
a little statement.
Yeah, a little statement.
That's nice.
Yeah. So no basement at the Alamo.
Pee Wee's devastated.
Yeah.
Heads to the bus station.
Yeah, heads to the bus station. And I remember he runs into Simone again, who's catching a bus because she's going to go to Paris. Like, she always dreamed.
Yeah.
But she didn't go. She couldn't go originally because she was with Andy, and Andy was convinced that, because he flunked French in high school, so he was convinced that everything over there was set up to make guys like him look dumb. Which is so random. Yeah. I remember as a kid, I didn't like Simone's outfit, but now I do.
Yes.
It was cute. I thought her skirt was cute. I didn't care as much for the top, but the skirt was really cute.
She was in there on her neck.
It was a little peasant top.
Something tied, like a handkerchief or something. I feel like there was something here that
that
bothered me.
Yeah, I think you're right. We didn't know.
That was French.
Yeah. And I just put, like, you know, maybe the makeup and the hair is what threw me off, because it's very 1980s. Like, and I remember I put in here that I thought she looked like Mom's coworker when I was a kid, and I don't remember the name of this woman, but I thought she looked very much like Simone. Yeah. And I don't remember that. And it wasn't like one of her major coworkers that we would see often. Yeah. But it was just every once in a while. Yes,
in our lives.
And then Pee-wee's in the rodeo to escape Andy again.
Oh, yeah, because he finds him at the bus station, so he goes running off.
And he dresses up like a cowboy to cover up his face. He's got this handkerchief over it. And they pull him because they think he's in the rodeo, so they pull him up onto the bull.
So he's riding the bull. Yeah. And he spots him on the bull. He's doing a great job on the bull. He's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
So Andy goes to go after him, and Andy's got a bright red shirt on. Yep. And of course the bull spots him. Chases, so Andy's out of our lives. We don't have to worry about Andy.
We don't have to worry about Andy anymore. But Pee-wee gets knocked out, getting thrown off the bull, and cue
another dream.
Yes. No, not yet.
No.
Well, he just comes to, and all the cowboys are standing over him. Oh. And
do you remember your name?
No. Do you remember where you are? No. I remember the Alamo. Yeah! yeah, everybody starts cheering, like, and I also put a note, like, when they were at the bus station, he was on the phone with Dottie, and then she didn't believe that he was in Texas, so he goes, "I'll prove it," and he just opens the door. "The stars at night are big and bright," and they just hit the heart of Texas. And you just hear everybody else outside go, "Deep in the heart of Texas."
I'm pretty sure there's a whole movie of us.
Yeah.
Where we're singing it.
Out
or
on
Dad's
the deck.
Singing it to us.
We're out.
Yes.
Or maybe it was in the garage on the
I don't know. We're playing, and that's definitely a Pee-wee quote is quoted in our home movies from when we were little.
Yeah.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
So then Pee-wee happens upon a biker bar, and it's the home of Satan's helpers, the bike gang. And he's trying to use the phone to call Dottie back because he got cut off the first time because she was going to wire him a bus ticket or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
And they get him, and they're like, "We're going to hang him, and then we're going to stop him, then we're going to tattoo him, then hang him, then we kill him." So everybody's like trying to find the best way to kill him and everything like that. And Pee-wee's just out of the corner of the mouth, "I say we let him go."
No.
Yes, and I put a note in here later. I should have put it when I discussed that part, but maybe I'll just wait for the cameos at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait for the cameos at the end.
Sounds good.
Well,
we'll circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that. But one of the bikers is a famous face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. So then, he gets his last request, which is a song, and he grabs the cook's shoes, and that's how he gets
huge platforms. And I never noticed the cook is super short.
Yeah, I never noticed it either.
He takes off the shoes in the Pee-wee.
Yeah.
And plays
tequila. Yes. And just, that's how he wins over all these bikers. They love it. They're,
we always refer to this as the big shoe
dance.
Big
shoe dance. That's what my parents always called it.
We love that scene, the big shoe dance. And fun fact, I did this at a bachelorette party one time.
Did you?
I got up on the table.
No, you did not.
I was playing in the bar, so I got up on the table at one of my best friends' bachelorette party, and I did it on the table.
How did I not know about this?
Well, it was great.
That's amazing. I love it. I wish somebody filmed it.
I did this. There's pictures of me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you can see me like this.
Can I have initials of the friend?
E.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fantastic. That is amazing. What bar?
It was in Philadelphia.
Okay. Okay, so not a local one.
No, not a local one.
Okay. Did anybody give you flack for getting up on the bar?
No, it was encouraged at this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this was supposed to
We
be.
used to do karaoke, and our one friend would get up on the bar on occasion, but it was at that little bowling alley bar, so nobody really cared.
Nobody cared.
Yeah. Yeah, so
that was a fun scene
yeah.
when we were kids. And then they love him.
Yeah. They give him a bike that he can take, to go on his quest.
This is what I was thinking of.
And I said he immediately wipes out.
Yeah, he crashes.
He crashes in the first thing that he comes in contact with, which is, I believe, a billboard. Excuse me. And this is the part. Yeah.
Yes. This
where,
is a
sequence that cements my fear of clowns.
Yeah.
Because
this is scary.
Yeah, because it's a devil of Francis, and the clowns are like the doctors and everything, and it scared me.
His bike is all in pieces.
Yeah, everything's cut up. My son wasn't really fazed by it when I showed him. He didn't really care.
I was like making light of it to my kids. I was like,
care.
look at the clowns, they're destroying the bike, like they're trying to put it back together.
And my 5-year-old's into like scary movies.
Yeah, he likes scary things.
Yeah, so
my
like
kid's not
he
so much.
loves killer clowns from outer space, so I don't think it really fazed him too much. But as a child, for me, it scared me.
It was terrifying.
And then we see on TV when Pee-wee's in the hospital that, like I said, the brother from Wonder Years, the older brother from Wonder Years, is on TV with Pee-wee's bike in a movie, like they're filming a movie.
A movie, yeah.
So our next scene, Pee-wee runs out and goes to Warner Brothers Studios.
Off to Hollywood. We don't know how he gets there exactly. He just appears there.
Yeah, and I put the actor and the showgirl with the voice swap when he like acts, like there's like a big like stormtrooper type guy, like robot-y type guy, and then there's like it's just supposed to be like just how silly Hollywood is, like that's just supposed to make light of that, and then there's like a showgirl, and their like voices were swapped, so like she had the big masculine voice, but here he is John B. from Pee-wee's Playhouse. He was making a little cameo in the movie. Yeah. Nice. Yep. So that's his voice. You hear John B's voice, and then the girl. Yeah, the girl did his voice then. And I loved when I remember as a kid because it cuts to it's like some nuns in an orphanage, and he got this bike, and he's getting the kid from Wonder Years gets his bike, and he's getting his home. And I loved when the nun said, "I will quit, so help me, I will quit." When I was a kid, for some reason, that word, the way she said it, I loved it. I was
the
like,
kid's so mean. Like he's
such a
stereotypical child star, getting what they want,
whatever he wants. And she's like, "I will." She's like the seasoned actress, Yeah.
And this time, Pee-wee puts on a nun's outfit and sneaks into the scene.
And that's how we can see it because Pee-wee's there.
Yeah.
But I'm ready. Roll. Like it's just this kid, being a jerk. And I noticed there's a similar swing set to ours in the background of that scene.
We probably enjoyed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I noticed as an adult, so I don't know if I even noticed as a kid. And then all the security guards at Warner Brothers Studio are stopping to unplug their golf carts, and I say electric car problems even back then.
Yes!
They were electric golf carts because they had to unplug them to go chase after Pee-wee. Because he stole the bike back.
Yes, he's on his bike. He's riding through the studio.
Because that's how he got it. He was the nun, and he just, I'm going to take this. And
So then he's driving through all these different
movie sets, and I love that part.
Warner Brothers.
I love that you could see everything.
Oh yeah, it was so cool. So then they have all this footage of Pee-wee destroying everything.
Yeah. And he's got all these like tricks on the bike, like they're like the one security guard pulls out like the one handlebar pops off, but it grows back.
Yeah.
Like he's
got little rockets and things that
make it go faster. I said I love the beach and the boat part, like driving the boat.
Yeah.
And then there's Santa and Godzilla were like riding together at one point in the
My
sleigh.
kids love the Santa part. They were like,
Santa! We're fresh off of Christmas over here. And then Dee Snider and Twisted Sister make a cameo. They're the band.
The band singing.
The song was "Burn in Hell."
Yes.
And I got that as a kid that these are like famous people.
Yeah,
didn't
whatever. Understand it.
And then again, Godzilla and Santa are riding a sleigh, and then when Pee-wee finally gets off like Warner Brothers property, and he like wipes out in a yard like in front of some kids, and he lands it, like he sticks the landing now, and the kid's like radical. I remember.
Well, in the beginning of the movie, he does it in front of kids. And he
falls.
He goes, "I meant to do that," and they're kind of snickering.
Is it the same kids?
I don't know. I didn't take notice.
I didn't pay attention to that, but he does redeem himself at the time with his trick. So next, and I thought this was way in the beginning of the movie.
What?
The next scene coming up.
Oh. I didn't know where it was because I blocked it out of it.
But here is at the end of the movie. It's the pet shop fire. And Shelley has a childhood trauma associated with this movie as well. Like it's imparted some trauma, well, not trauma, some phobias on you.
Yes, I hate snakes.
Yeah.
Hate them. Can't.
She usually won't even say the word. She'll call them creatures.
Yes, I've been able to say it because I've had to say it to teach my children what they are.
Yeah.
But I hate snakes so much. And I remember this clearly as a kid being like, because Pee-wee's running into the pet shop and he's trying to save all the animals from the fire.
Yeah.
And he keeps running past the snakes and he's like, oh, I don't want to touch them. And he keeps grabbing the other animals. And then finally, the good-hearted Pee-wee goes in and saves
all the
snakes.
animals, not just...
Oh, I would have let them burn.
Yeah, because there's a monkey for sale in this particular pet shop.
Yeah, so he's using the monkey to help me. He's like, come on, help me.
A pink dog. And then,
which Dottie adopts at the end.
Yes, she does. And I did notice that he avoids the snakes 4 times before, because he keeps going back. And I put the snakes are all around Pee-wee on the ground when he finally passes out, like at the end, because that would freak me out too. Away. I'm not a fan. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with snakes, but I'm not as bad as she is.
As I was rewatching, I looked away for this scene. I knew what, and I was like, I was trying not to look over until it was over because I just couldn't. I put
when he's saving the fish that you can see that he was saving the fish before the snakes, but there's still fish in the background. But then he does mention there's still a few fish.
He passes out like the police, the firemen all show up, and he says, "There's a few more fish inside."
Yeah. So then he showed his Warner Brother crimes on actual video, like on actual film,
because
like a film canister.
This boy is a hero. This boy is a criminal.
He's a criminal. Yeah, and it wasn't a videotape.
Yeah,
it was an actual film reel. Yeah, and but but they make him a deal that like if they can make a movie out of his story, his adventure. I put that I love Dottie's pink dress when she showed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at the end we're at the drive-in. Yeah. Finally, Dottie gets the drive-in with Pee-wee.
She's in a red dress there. She was in the pink dress in the Warner Brothers studio.
Oh, okay, that's right. She comes in with the bike. I'm sorry.
Nope, it's quite all right. So Dottie retrieves his bicycle.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know how she
I don't either because it wasn't by the pet shop?
Yeah, it was by the pet shop.
Maybe this was supposed to be like right adjacent to Warner Brothers. Town. No, like to Warner Brothers because they must have been right there. Like
but how would Dottie be there?
Yeah, so that's true.
It's got to be back in town. Maybe it is the same kids. That'll determine it.
Yeah, his next of kin was Dottie apparently. So, I wanted all the snacks.
Mm-hmm. So he leaves the snack bar, is handing them out to all his friends. Everybody's back
throughout the whole.
Simone's there from France with her new boyfriend. Mickey's there on the convict bus.
Mickey's there on the prison bus. Yeah, and I love Morgan Fairchild is playing Dottie in the movie in a blue jumpsuit, and I really liked the jumpsuit when I was a kid. I remember.
Yeah,
I really wanted that.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And then Pee-wee's only role in the movie is he's a cameo, and he's the hotel clerk, and it's paging Mr. Herman.
His voice is totally
it's a dubbed voice, like it's not his voice. And I put when he sees Simone, she says like merci beaucoup, and he's like merci beaucoup. Yeah, because that's what Pee-wee's shtick always was. Even in the Christmas episode with the Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Yeah. I never understood the bikers throwing snacks in the air. I put because I wanted the snacks, and they were just chucking them and being rowdy.
Yeah, they're just rowdy guys.
Yeah, and then I put Pee-wee's terrible acting as the cameo because he's just staring directly at the camera.
And then he has to go and move and do something, and
he's just inching back into frame. Yeah, just staring at
it's just horrible.
And I did love Dottie's red dress that you mentioned.
Yes, sorry.
And then our cameos. Here I have is our cameos. So Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman was the reporter, and he was the cameo with Francis, and he would later play Captain Carl on the series and a recurring role as well. Okay. But he helped write with Pee-wee. Okay. So I think he helped write this movie too. But love Phil Hartman. He's another.
Yeah, I like that we get justice for Francis at the end.
Yeah.
Well, we get justice from Francis for stealing this bike to begin with because he gets ejected off the bike. Yeah, because
Francis, we didn't discuss this. Francis was behind the original.
Yeah, he
thing.
hired
somebody to lift the bike, and then
told him to get rid of it. Because didn't just give it back.
Because Pee-wee got too close and was going to catch him, and it freaked him out. So Francis shot to space on the seat of the bike. And I put the end, Pee-wee's like to Dottie, let's get out of here. And she's like, don't you want to watch the rest of the movie? He's like, I lived it. I don't need to watch it. So the end is just so perfect. It's just Pee-wee and Dottie riding across the screen, their silhouettes on the bikes with their dogs, Speck and Pee-wee's dog, and the little pink one. The pet shop. Yeah, because Dottie was watching Speck. For Pee-wee. I forgot to mention that, because he's giving Pee-wee an earful on the phone when he called.
Put Dottie back on the phone.
Now, the biker mama, who I said from the biker gang, she's the one who is a famous face. It's Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, who is a close personal friend of Pee-wee in real life, of Paul Rubens in real life. Yeah, so
awesome.
so she was the one that let me see him. That way I had some time with her first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then James Brolin played Pee-wee in the movie, and I know you are, but what am I? Like, he just delivered it James Bond style.
Bond sort of character.
Yeah. But that's my notes for it. I love this movie.
This was an amazing movie. It holds up. It's so good. Like I said, my kids loved it.
My kids did too.
I have nothing bad to say about Pee-wee.
I love Pee-wee. You can never talk bad about Pee-wee to me. I won't hear of it. So if it's in your comments, you're going to get ignored. But thank you for joining us for another Sisters and Ebert movie review.
We hope you enjoy Pee-wee as much as you enjoy this video.
We'll be back with our next one and as soon as we can. Get you some more content. So how many squirrels would you give this?
It doesn't get squirrels.
Oh, just
because this was not a summer movie.
We'll leave that rating for summer.
0 squirrel rating.
But I give this as many thumbs as I can.
Oh my gosh, that giant thumb is
hitchhiking. The giant hitchhiking thumb. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But we thank you again for Sisters and Ebert and for joining us for another movie discussion.
Yeah, thank you. Give us 2 thumbs up.
Like and subscribe and comment below if it so moves you. And we'll be so happy to hear from you.
And we'll see you soon.
See you for the next video. See you at the movies.